Okay, Thursday, September the 24th, 2015, and I'm out in Dublin, Era, or Ireland. While I'm here, I thought I'd have a go at this little bit of the Grand Canal Way, which I'm doing from Culmore Road, which is on the outskirts of Dublin, into the city initially. And if the weather holds out, I may well have a go at a longer section tomorrow or over the next few days. It's almost 12 noon. Not sure what distance I'm doing here or how long it will take, but I know it's not that far. So let's see how we get on. Mixed weather today, mixture of clouds and sun, which is fine. No rain forecast. As you can see, plenty of pylons along this section. Just over there by Mr. Maddie, I've just passed a gypsy site, and the mess over there is horrendous. Dogs running loose, rubbish all over the place. Incredible. Well, this is pretty convenient and handy because a couple of 100 yards in, got a history of the whole thing for you here. I certainly don't know anything. I was going to suggest you Google it as per usual, but here we go. Interesting that it's measured in locks, and we're at the third lock apparently at the moment. Culmore Road entrance. Down below there are a number of species that might be encountered. Common moorhen, the Benton's bat, which is one I haven't heard of, river otter, pyramidal orchid, white-clawed crayfish, pike of course, perch, and of course, as with everything over here, if you want the Gaelic version, here you go. Not that many people actually speak Gaelic over here now, unfortunately. It's interesting to note the walking surface is pretty decent at this section anyway, and I think it is throughout most of the walk. Hard surface, which is not necessarily much good for my hip, but there you go. Lightly sprinkled with chippings, and the other side's well manicured. That's a green pathway down the other side. Well, that's mallard there, female mallard, in a bit of a precarious position. Steep drop just there in the lock gate. Water's very high up to the edge here. I don't know if these locks are actually used. I guess they are. They look a bit rusty in places. And as you can see now, as we get closer towards the city, I've only been walking about 10 minutes, starting to get modern developments next to the canal side, similar to London, with the Regent's Canal, Grand Union, etc. around King's Cross. There you go. Interesting little iron bridge in front of it. Limits the size of the barges you can get through there, I guess. Information panel here telling us about the Bluebell stretch. various fishing points. Looks like amongst others you'll get pike, roach, bream, tench and perch and rudd. Far distance there you can see the Wicklow Mountains, from whence I originate. Lovely little village called Enniskerry. Now passing lock number 4. Getting a bit industrialised here. I guess this is a former lockkeeper's cottage. Young swans here with their parents. Not going to get too close to them. Rather desecrated with graffiti panel here telling us about the opening of the Grand Canal Way, Green Route, 3rd lock, Inchicore to 12th lock, Lucan, opened 2010, 18th of June. Yes. So here we have the old and the new. New tram. It stops right next to the canal. We're at the Black Horse Lewis stop, Lewis being the tram system, and I do believe this is the red line. The information panel is actually promoted by the Irish Heart Foundation, promoting the benefits of walking, which we all know. Unfortunately, do it to excess can upset your joints, as I've discovered. Depends on your diet though, I guess. This section here, you've got the Lewis tram running right next door to your shoulder. This information panel highlights where we're at the moment. We're at the station there called Swear Road, so not far from Houston. The footpath deviates away from the tram here, so as you can see that goes off that way towards Houston, and we're now following the canal into the city. A bit greener here, and option to walk on the grass verge, it's softer underfoot. At this bridge here, which I think is just after lock number 1, wasn't sure which path to take, because the one on the opposite bank there didn't look like it was used, but in fact I can see now from someone walking down it that it is. So I'm walking along this firmer surface here next to what is clearly a council estate. Now I'm back on the other side of the path I should have been on, just outside a pub called the Barn House. The path on the other bank has disappeared anyway. One water rat. Many of them about here, I've noticed, so I better be careful. Bit rough and ready this section. Towpath here doesn't even seem to exist. Parnell Road, and the towpath disappears into a public highway at this point. No idea what this bridge is, but built in 1803. The walking on the northern side looks more appealing to me. There's a footpath over, that's a towpath that side now, as opposed to this one which is next to a road. So I'm going to switch back over. Oh, wonderful old Nissan, just walking past this dealership. Nearly €10,000 though. I'm noticing a number of these fish leaping over a number. Would be interested to know what they are. They seem to be about every, I don't know, 10 yards. Okay, there's a number of nice little terraces off the side of this canal. Martin Street being one of them. But these are highly sought after now. Got a modernised section here, making it quite twee and trendy. Next to Lucan Bridge, built in 1791. Yeah, quite messy. Right, Paul Smith, not the fashion designer but an author, lived opposite this spot apparently. This spot being opposite the Hilton Hotel. An elevated section here, man-made, behind these old cottages. Still don't know where I am district-wise. We're actually not far from College Green, and I encounter my first barges. And now we come to some kind of small food market area, which I might utilise. Walking along Herbert Place now, on my left, alongside it, at the bottom of Lower Bagot Street, coming towards the end of the canal. So you just come through a nice tree-clad section just before Lock C1. Cross over the road and you encounter all this modern development, including that of the canal. Now I'm going to try and find the Grand Canal Dart Station, which is down near Lansdowne Road, which is that building down there. It's actually no longer called Lansdowne Road, but the Aviva Stadium, I believe. This is effectively where public access ends. You've got this big building here called Grand Canal Plaza, which in fact looks like the Irish office of Google, amongst others. Now at Grand Canal Dock, DI Dart Station, which is the Dublin area regional transport, runs from Health down to Greystones. 6.7 miles later, in my case, you come up to the Grand Dock Canal Junction, which joins the Liffey here, and then on out to the sea. So this canal actually takes, or did take, traffic all the way from here in Dublin right across to Shannon, so from the Irish Sea right out to the Atlantic. Cuts right across the country, and is a walk that I'd like to do one day. As I say, I will try and do one more section before I leave, but just as in London, all the docks have been turned into warehouse conversions, tarted up, although not so well in that case over there. So just under 2 hours later, interesting walk, not one of my typical ones, but I thought I'd do it anyway while I was here. Maybe the next section will be more rural and more in keeping with what I usually do. So that's it. Beat the rain, not that it's going to rain anyway. See you soon.